We got overtime winners, bone-crushing hits, and tempers beginning to fly with everyone getting closer to Lord Stanley. Round 3 of the NHL Playoffs is well underway, so let's break down the storylines, strategies, and overall chaos for all the teams left standing. The Florida Panthers versus the New York Rangers. We knew this series was going to be a goalie clinic, but right off the bat in this one, we saw how both of these teams were going to execute their game plan. In our round 3 preview, we talked about how the Panthers were going to use their forecheck to cause mistakes, while the Rangers will look to use their aggressiveness against them to create off the rush. And in the first, we saw the Panthers create turnovers with pressure, while also seeing the Rangers generate a few odd man rushes in return. Now, let me show you the magic of a player like Gustav Forsling. If you're a casual hockey fan, you might have just thought I swore at you in Swedish, but actually, I introduced you to one of the most underrated defenders in the league. This guy was a plus 56 this season, and it's because of the little things he does on both sides of the puck to create the Panthers' first goal. Panarin has this puck in a 1v1, and as he stops to load up on his forehand, watch Forsling extend his stick to prevent Panarin to make any sort of play without a deflection. Back pressure comes to break up the play, and Forsling sends a beautiful outlet pass on his backhand straight to Verhaeghe to start the rush. Forsling is aware of the potential rush, so he decides to jump up in the play to make this a 3-on-2. He enters the zone with possession and then drives the middle to the net for a potential rebound. Tkachuk scores from a distance. That is one that Shesterkin definitely wants back, but the Panthers strike first by beating the Rangers at their own game. After that goal, both tendies took over the game. For as much as the Panthers' forecheck created some havoc, the Rangers were able to generate multiple rush chances with their defenders beating Florida's F1. It's a breakaway chance here by Cooley that is a perfect example. Lindgren escapes Barkov as the F1 with his feet. The Rangers are almost going to plant a diversion with this pass to the middle. Two Panthers converge on Roslovic, and a slick dish from him to Cooley means that he's all alone on Bobrovsky, but once again, he stands tall to keep this a 1-0 game. If the mobility of the Rangers D can withstand the physicality of the Panthers, the games will eventually swing their way. That being said, Officer Bobrovsky is just unbelievable. Anytime there was a breakdown, this guy was making 10 bell saves to make sure that he kept the Rangers off the board. The Panthers looked at an insurance goal, but hold on. We got ourselves a goalie interference challenge, and spin the wheel for the verdict because who knows what the hell the call is. Today, Bettman decided we got a goalie interference, so the game stays 1-0. The Rangers did press, but an own goal by Alexis Lafreniere ends up being the dagger. That's a tough bounce for the kid, but Shesterkin and Lafreniere were both put in a tough spot because of a bad change by Keandre Miller. He goes for a line change, which means that Shesterkin has no outlet for the pass. He just puts it off the boards, and then bad things end up happening. Panthers take game 1, Bobrovsky gets a shutout, and afterwards, I loved what Paul Maurice had to say about his team, and Tkachuk in particular for keeping their game simple.
This is true of, you always want to do more, right? These are the best players in the world, and they're capable of doing more, but sometimes the less is just way better, and it's also quite a bit smarter, and I thought he led in that department.
Paul Maurice has had the Panthers' best players buy into a simple, straightforward game, and the result has created a team that has become a nightmare to play against. Now, Game 2 was response time for the New York Rangers. The only change in the Rangers lineup was bringing in 6'8" rookie Matt Rempe to address some of the physicality, but out of the gate, the Rangers were imposing their game plan by generating off the rush. In these playoffs, we've talked about how both Florida and the Rangers like to use a lob play to bypass the forecheck and rely on a fortunate bounce to generate a potential rush. Off this faceoff, Florida looks to execute this set play when they win the draw. Unfortunately, the bounce doesn't pan out, and this time it bounces straight to the Rangers D. He makes a solid heads-up play to one-touch this puck up the boards to Panarin so that he can catch 3 Panthers behind the puck and create a rush chance. Now the Rangers are playing their game with their best player in Panarin with the puck. A little dish over to Trocheck, he funnels it to the middle. Florida ends up fumbling the puck. Adam Fox takes over, and he feeds Vinny Trocheck to take an early 1-0 lead. Verhaeghe doesn't like that one bit, so he shoves Lafreniere to the ground. That sparks some chaos after the whistle, and we have a good old-fashioned Gen Z line brawl. A whole bunch of grabbing and tugging, with everyone keeping their gloves on and no real bombs being thrown. However, the physicality of this game did go up a notch as we saw this huge hit by Kulikov on Wenberg. Wenberg bobbles the pass and just doesn't see Kulikov fly up on his blind side, and he catches him pretty good. The refs review it for a major, but it's decided that it's a 2-minute penalty for interference. That call could have gone either way in my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, but the refs follow that up with a call on Barclay Goodrow to put the Panthers on the power play. That gives Carter Verhaeghe the opportunity to walk down Main Street, change the angle, and go along the ice to beat Shesterkin. Both of these goalies are brick walls, so Florida sends 2 bodies in front, and just look at Shesterkin's vision as Verhaeghe gets ready to release the shot. This man can't see a damn thing. Goal scorers shoot low, and it's a tied game. With the skill level of both of these goalies, we can expect low-scoring games for the rest of the series. However, the Rangers were able to open up the game a bit more by having support down low to match Florida's numbers. That gave them a few more opportunities to catch the Florida Panthers forwards in deep and create a rush the other way. Now, we highlighted Florida's best D-man in Game 1, but Adam Fox was absolutely incredible for the Rangers in all 3 zones in this game. He had 28 minutes of ice time, and when it looked like Florida was going to create a turnover with their pressure, Fox's IQ and puck movement would negate the threat. I love this subtle play here to start the breakout. Despite Florida being first to this puck, the Rangers do a good job of snuffing out the play for Fox to come in and take the loose puck. Sensing he's got pressure on his right side and knowing that Florida is going to be aggressive, he kicks it right back to his teammate, and now the Panthers got 3 guys caught deep. He may not be the guy to beat Florida's pressure with his speed, but he does it so well with his IQ, positioning, and puck movement. We would need OT for the first time in this series, and halfway through, Kreider does the old pass off the pad, Bobrovsky kicks it out to the slot, and look at that. It's Ekman Larsson who drops to one knee and blocks a wide open net with his right ass cheek. The guy is literally putting his ass on the line for the game, and he saves a goal. With 6 minutes remaining in the OT now, we see another use of the high flip. Shesterkin plays the puck to Trouba, and look at the attack that Florida has already set up. This is why Florida feasts on teams who don't communicate well and are prepared for their game plan. At every option, Trouba is basically screwed. A reverse play here is no bueno. If he tries to hold on to the puck, he'll likely cough it up, and going directly off the boards is pretty much sealed off. Now, it's very likely that both Shesterkin and Miller are communicating to him as he gets this puck that there is pressure, so Trouba sends a high flip out of the zone to negate all of it. The Rangers forwards are anticipating it, and how about this bat down out of the air by Barclay Goodrow? Just picks it down clean, gets control, shifts it over to Trocheck to start the give and go, and we got magic at MSG.
Goodrow off the Trocheck, gets a return, shoots.
The Rangers tie the series, and if you look at the advanced stats from Megan Chayka on Twitter, this series cannot get any more even. One thing to look out for, though, is the fact that the Rangers power play has gone completely cold, going 0 for 6 without generating a single high danger scoring chance. This was supposed to be their biggest strength coming into the series, and so far, the Panthers have completely shut it down. Despite that, this series is all tied up, and it's got the makings to go 7. The Edmonton Oilers versus the Dallas Stars. Game 1 between the Oilers and the Stars, and if you looked at everyone's predictions before this series, you would have thought that this would be a cakewalk for the Dallas Stars. But the Oilers say hold the phone and shut your mouth because there's a reason why we're here. Right out of the gate, Evgeny Dadonov gets a breakaway, it's stopped by Skinner, and then he follows that up by stopping a rebound on Jamie Benn. There was a lot of noise surrounding Skinner coming into this series, and less than 5 minutes into this game, those 2 massive saves are huge for his confidence in the crease. We get some good looks on both sides, but no one's got any fin, so this game was tied at 0 heading into the second. Then early in the period, it's Leon Draisaitl getting the lucky bounce to make it 1-0 for the Oilers, but it all starts with a strong play from Connor McDavid. The puck is swung in deep for McDavid, and on his touch, he instantly goes back against the grain against his Czech and Matt Duchene. But now that he's got Duchene chasing him in deep, watch this cheeky little bank play off the back of the net. Duchene, buddy, where are you going? McDavid falls squarely on his ass, but puts the puck out in front. Hyman almost gets a crack at it, but the Dallas defenders stop that. It bounces over to Kulak, and now all 5 Dallas players are chasing a little bit just in panic mode. Kulak steps into the shot, it's blocked, and look at this bounce to Leon Draisaitl. Call this guy Luckboy Illinois because he gets a wide open net. He's now got a 13-game point streak in the playoffs, which is just insane. With Dallas looking for a response, they get in on the forecheck, and this is the risk and reward of playing the Oilers. With Ben behind the net looking for a play, both Dallas forwards are covered, but Lindell is going to make a heads-up play to read and activate as Edmonton has just left the middle of the ice open. Skinner makes another great save, but immediately after that, Connor McDavid is heading the other way on a 2-on-1. Tanev makes a great play to break up the pass, but a slight miscommunication over who wants this puck creates an opening for Hyman, and he plays clean up to give the Oilers a 2-0 lead. You got to take some risks to create offense, but against an Oilers team that has some of the best transition players in the world, they made Dallas pay as soon as they stepped up to create extra offense. All that hard work was cut in half though after Brett Kulak sends a piping hot pizza up the middle to Jamie Benn. He pump fakes, then patiently tucks it around Skinner. It gets stuck in Kulak's feet, and Tyler Seguin bangs it home. Kulak hit the showers, pal. That was brutal. Edmonton now leads 2-1, but both Skinner and Ottinger would come up huge to keep this a 1-goal game. The Oilers didn't give up much in the third, but Lady Luck returns the favor, and Tyler Seguin gets a perfect bounce for him to bury a wide open net. This is what I mean though when I say Dallas can play any style of game, because look at the heaviness and puck protection during this shift. Every player is winning body position, the support on the puck is there to extend the possession, and it eventually finds its way to Robertson, who uses his entire frame and reach to get this puck on net, and when the process is right, luck eventually falls in your favor. There was something in the air this game though, because immediately after that goal, the puck bounces directly to Holloway. He drives the net, goes forehand, and what a kick save by Ottinger. Get that shit out of here, because we're going into overtime tied at 2. Now check this out. Right off the draw, McDavid is going to high stick Duchesne, and there's no call. Play whistled down a few seconds later. McDavid thinks he got away with one, but Bedman's got the refs on speed dial, and they go back to call this one a double minor for high sticking. McDavid starts losing it at the stripes. Vancouver fans are sitting there like, where was this call on Quinn Hughes in round 2? And the Stars get 4 minutes to cook on the power play. They hit 2 posts, including this one, which goes reverse 5-hole through Skinner's legs. That's got to be sickening to watch if you're a Stars fan. But the Oilers kill the penalty, and shortly after, it's McDavid on the doorstep, and look at that. My goodness. He gets McRobbed, and this is going into double overtime. Now, someone's got to buy Dallas some new cameras, because you can't see a damn thing from this angle, but Bouchard takes the puck off the wall and throws it in front, and it had to be Connor McDavid to tip it home. The Oilers lead this series 1-0 thanks to an unbelievable game from the captain. Now, with the Stars losing Game 1 and home ice advantage, a strong start was crucial for Dallas in this game. Stuart Skinner's numbers have been incredible in the last 3 contests, so naturally, he lets in a bit of a softie on the first shot to make Oilers fans feel a little faint. The Oilers get a tad over-aggressive at the blue line, trying to cut off the winger. Ceci closes off the wall along with Holloway, but Ben is off to the races in the middle, and just like that, Dallas is on the board first. It's a perfect start for the Stars. They get an early lead, and it's gone. Connor Brown and Cody Ceci, 2 Leaf legends, go in on a 2-on-2. Ceci drives the middle, tips this puck, and Dallas lets Brown stroll right in and bury the rebound. That absolutely killed the momentum for the Stars, and it was a fantastic response from the Oilers, and they would keep pouring on the pressure, but Jake Ottinger was a monster. Edmonton outshot Dallas 16-4 in the first period, but Ottinger was the main reason why it remained a 1-1 game. Then Dallas really started to come on and play their style. It wouldn't be until early in the third where Dallas would finally break through and Marchman would tip one home to make it 2-1. After that goal, Dallas just put on the clamps against Edmonton. Their 1-2-2 in the neutral zone can just stifle teams, and when executed properly, it can create offense as well. Vander Kane is going to try and power through into the zone here, but the layers for Dallas just completely squeeze him out of the play. Lundell takes the turnover and instantly sends the puck up for the F1 for a fast break. That's patient defending, creating offense. And when Edmonton's best players were able to enter the zone and have possession, the Stars did a phenomenal job at just keeping them to the perimeter. They created mini 2v1s against the puck carrier, and most importantly, they blocked shots. Now, I gotta shout out Miro Heiskanen. This guy has played over 200 minutes against the other team's top guys in the last 7 games, and he hasn't been on the ice for a single goal against. Talk about a system feeding into the strengths of a player. Watch how the Oilers make the decision to pull their goalie, and Kane tries yet again to enter the zone. This whole thing is doomed from the start though, because again, Dallas has an F3 back to create a mini 2v1 defensively, and that makes life even easier for Heiskanen to gap up, angle off Kane, and perfectly close him off into the boards. The change in possession leads to an empty net goal, and that right there seals game 2. Just a pure defensive clinic from Dallas in the third, and this series is all tied at 1 heading into Edmonton. Afterwards, the media asked Oilers head coach Chris Knoblauch about the lack of penalties called for the Stars, to which he replied, "We would like to see the same standard." Now, I'm sure everyone's going to have an opinion on that, so make sure you drop yours in the comments down below. Let us know what surprised you, what pissed you off, and your thoughts on round 3 so far. If you like this video and want to see more NHL breakdowns for the remainder of these playoffs and in the future, make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the like button, and turn on notifications.